information. Is there anything easier?
No.
And just like, not only easy, but talk about a huge reward for your
Absolutely.
effort. Anything better than the Daylily, and we're giving you all 6. So what you're seeing here is all 6 Daylilies that you're going to receive, and for 2 easy payments of $13.23. Easy pay goes away at the end of the day. Price goes up at the end of the day. This is the set. We're calling it Sunny Days. I think it looks like ice cream shop.
I think
it's
so
like
too.
It's like when you look and you just see all the sherbet,
Yes.
like, right? Like it's such. This is a happy
delicious.
collection.
It is
so
a
what are we
happy
getting
collection.
here?
And you know, that's the great thing about daylilies is they do make you happy because these are, some daylilies don't bloom all the time, and these are what we call rebloomers. And so we've chosen this collection for their color. As you said, they're beautiful colors. They work really nice together, but also because they are rebloomers. So they are going to continue to bloom all summer long. They're going to start in the midsummer and bloom all the way through frost, even sometimes after the frost. And so each flower is going to have multiple. It's amazing.
The old orange daylilies that were very pretty. They're kind of a one and done, and then we got some kind of that would bloom twice. I mean, to be able to get constant blooms from daylilies,
it's unbelievable. And some of them are fragrant, and so we have 3 different varieties. They're all going to grow to be about 26 inches tall.
Oh, okay, so
24
they'll
to 26.
play nicely together.
They'll play nicely together, and they are, which is a nice height. They have very sturdy stems, and so these aren't going to be flopping over in your garden. They're going to be very strong, sturdy plants. And I just love how the 3 work together. And so you can see there, the playground is the yellow variety, and that grows to be 26 inches tall. And the flowers are about 4.5 inches big. So you're getting these enormous flowers. And the Prairie Bella, that's the pink, that's also 26 inches tall with another 4.5-inch flower head. They're just going to be these big, enormous flowers. But the Macbeth, the lavender one's going to have the biggest blooms of all. It's 6 inches. That bloom is going to be half a foot. And the Macbeth is fragrant. So daylilies are very hard to come by in a fragrant scent. Most of the time your daylilies are going to be just that beautiful color, that prolific bloomer, but then you add fragrance on top of it and easy. I mean, I think we really need to let you know that if you have not gardened before, daylilies are the place to start.
So you're getting 2 of each one of these colors. So you get the pinks, the yellows, that lavender. It's gorgeous.
So happy. And so I think we should show you what they look like when they come.
Yeah, please.
Because
well, let's come over here. So you're getting all of these. Actually, you can see just how big this is. Like, you're getting tons of daylilies here. But when they come to you, this is how they're going to look.
You may not think this is as pretty as I do, but this is what it looks like when it comes bare root. And so this is a daylily, and this is one of those plants that you see growing in that container. So yes, this will become those plants, and it will happen in your first season. So you will get loads of flowers, and of course it will only be more and more flowers. That's the really beautiful thing about daylilies, is we talked earlier about plants that spread. Daylilies do spread. So if you are thinking of a place in your garden where it could use over time, maybe you're not ready to buy 12 or 20 plants now, daylilies are the great thing for you, because over time they will continue to multiply. So we're over here to plant. Let's show you how to plant this. So these finger things are roots, and you're going to want to put those under the ground. And basically, it couldn't be easier. Daylilies will grow basically anywhere, any kind of soil conditions, any kind of weather. They'll grow anywhere in the country. I could plant this like this and it would grow, but you want to do it right. So you're going to put it roots down.
So if you make a mistake, you're okay, but there is a kind of a good way to do it.
Yeah, roots down. And you dig the hole about twice as wide and twice as deep as the daylily's root ball, and just backfill it over. You don't want to cover up the green part that's been growing.
Actually, I kind of like that, because unlike bulbs that you plant, in the fall, and then you have a hard time remembering exactly where you put your bulbs. You'll always know exactly where you put your daylily right from the beginning.
And sometimes I don't know how deep, you have to look up. Oh, how deep do I plant my daffodils?
This is easier.
You know exactly how to do it. It's so easy. You water it in. You can put that fertilizer in your watering can. The Bud and Bloom Bud and Flower Booster Fertilizer works for daylilies as well. And that's it. And then it will explode with color from midsummer all the way through to frost.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that turns into one of these, and then times 6. Look how many daylilies you get. And this, you said, is what I can expect the first year?
The first year.
But,
not this many flowers.
Okay, so
but
this is like
height.
2-year flowers.
Yes.
but this tall.
Absolutely.
And then for where? Like, who can grow these? What part of the country?
Anywhere, everywhere. If you have never grown anything before, they are for any level of gardener in any part of the country.
Wow.
And so they also work in containers. And so if you're thinking maybe, well, I have a front porch and a front part of my condo that I'm renting, I don't want to dig in the ground, throw these in a container. They'll take part shade, so they don't need to be full sun, which is nice too, because a lot of the plants that we brought today are full sun.
Yeah.
So these can work in some dappled shade too.
So these are wonderful if you're someone who's never gardened before, and if you are someone who gardens a lot, well, my gosh, do yourself a favor and get some really, really easy plants, and then worry about some other plants that you want to baby. But look at what you get for such minimal effort. These beautiful colors.
I know. I love that Prairie Bella. I really love how they all work so nicely together. And the great thing about these daylilies, and if you have gardened before, these are your rebloomers. So you may have some of the older varieties that don't rebloom. So you're going to want to upgrade to the Macbeth, a fragrant, enormous flower head, the playground that's going to come back and keep reblooming throughout the entire season. And you know, the other really neat thing about daylilies that sometimes can be overlooked is their foliage. So it might not be the pretty foliage that you could get on other plants, but it is going to shade the bottom of the soil. So that means it's going to suppress the weeds, which I love. I always love a plant that will help me do double duty and not have to weed. And I like planting my daylilies with my daffodils, because if your daffodils bloom and when they peter out, sometimes there's some, dying or browning foliage. These will start to come up right as soon as your daffodils are disappearing. So they make a great complement to those.
They're also good ones to plant with kids because they are so easy. If your little one puts it in the soil the wrong way, it'll still come up. So if you want to plant with your children or your grandchildren, start with daylilies because you're setting them up for success.
You really are. Yeah, and they're such a colorful plant, and so that
you get that like I did that feeling.
Yeah, and they'll come back year after year, and they'll continue to multiply. And so if you do have, you think maybe you don't have room for these, you can give some to a friend, or if you have plenty of room, in a couple of years, dig them up and divide them, and you'll still have some for your friends, because these plants just keep on growing.
So you are getting 2 of each variety: your yellow, your lavender, that beautiful sunny pink, these like sherbet colors, and you're getting them all for 2 easy payments of $13 and change. In fact, look at your screen and you can see just how gorgeous these are. I love the ruffled edges.
Yes, the ruffled edges are cool. The Macbeth is going to be that fragrant, and I really think that these colors work nice together. All of these 3 plants would work great in the garden together. Daylilies work in borders, they can work in garden beds, and they can work in containers. And I love the Prairie Bella. It does have more of that ruffled edge, almost looks like icing, like someone has iced that flower onto the plant. It looks so good you could eat it. And then you have your Macbeth, which is 6 inches. That's going to be an enormous flower. It's going to be a rebloomer, so it's going to have flowers from midsummer all the way through frost. It will keep on blooming, keep providing you with that full color, which is what we need in the garden, what we want in the garden. Especially if you have a spot, maybe that's a hard to grow spot where you haven't been able to grow plants before, daylilies will work there.
And there's the playground. So you get all 6 of these for just 2 easy payments of $13 and change. If you're just joining us, I recommend that you go to QVC.com and check out our today's special value, our butterfly bush. Here's the last look at the daylilies, and you're getting these at a pre-season sale price. So now's the time to order what you want for your garden when we have the best values and the best selections. And don't worry about where you live. We will ship these to you at just the right time.
Yes, so take a look at the country and match where you live on the map to the color boxes below. And the date next to that is when these daylilies and our other plants will ship out to you. Tender plants will ship out 2 weeks later.
Perfect. And then you have a guarantee for us.
We do, yes. We warrant our perennials for 1 year, like these daylilies, and annuals for 90 days.